Hi guys, so welcome to another Seasons at Home video. Today I'm going to attempt this to sort of repair or fluff up or fill in these two. There are actually two pillows here that have gone a bit soft. They were used to firm, but now they're just, soft and fluffed up, and I would really like to have at least one big pillow at least on my side of the bed, because currently I'm sleeping on two small pillows and it's not good. So I have here a big bag of filling. I have here scissors because I don't have the tool for plucking out the seams. And yeah, the first step is going to be to to find the seam that I would like to undo, and then undo about like so of the seam, like so, just enough to allow my hand to go through and to put the filling in. Sorry, my hands aren't looking at the moment that good because my skin is super dry. I will have to actually oil myself to get rid of that, but yeah, so this is the first step. Back to the task now. Undo a seam, put the filling inside, and then redo the seam. And I'm gonna do this on both of these pillows, and then hopefully when I'm done, these pillows will be nice and firm and I will be able to use them again. Let's start. So I will start by searching for the seam that I want to undo, and I will simply pull the two pieces away from each other, and this will expose the thread, and then I will cut one stitch of the seam, and this will allow me to start to undo the entire seam. So I'm doing this slowly and steadily, and you will see that at one point when you undo one stitch, that all of a sudden you will be able to just pull it apart. Just don't try to force the pulling. Be firm when pulling, but don't try to force it because you may actually damage the pillow. All of this is much easier if you have the undoing tool, which I lost as I did my needles and stuff. But things get lost when you are moving from one place to the other, so this was the price that I paid for moving into this apartment. When I undid enough for my hand to fit, I am going to pull a bit more, and I'm not going to cut the threads all the way down. I'm actually going to leave the threads a bit longer, because in the end I'm going to untie to prevent the stitch from further undoing itself. And I will keep both of the threads of the stitch on the same side, because this is a machine stitch that has two threads one coming in and the other hook in it, so you will have two little threads. Now you can see how much this filling that is currently in this pillow has just deflated. I think that would be the best way to describe it. Basically, this pillow is more than half empty now. And all that I'm going to do now is take a little stool, because this is way easier to do when you are sitting down, and then find my hole that I made and start filling it one handful by the other. The filling that I'm using here is actually a silicone type of filling that is also anti-allergy, because my husband is allergic to down. So we cannot use down pillows, which are my favorite pillows. I have always slept on down pillows, and this is the same procedure that you would actually do when you would be filling your pillows with down. Now, every once in a while, when I have filled some amount of the filling, I would simply just go with my entire hand to the bottom of the pillow and mix the old filling with the new filling. Because if you don't mix them, then you will have like a part of the pillow that has a good filling and part of the pillow that is just like meh. And I will continue to do this procedure until my pillow is completely full. So, a little comparison size now that I am done with this one. I think I'm done with this one. It's, I'll see, I won't close it yet. I will close it only after this one is also filled in. But I think that it's quite easy to see the difference. This one's like really, this feels so good, and this feels like meh. It's just so good. Okay, so yeah, after I'm done with both of them and I have closed them up, I'm going to put them into the washer and wash them as well, one by one, and tumble dry. And then the next day I'm going to take them out on the sun and dry them up a bit more, and then they will be done. So I'm going to quickly finish up the second one, and then I need to go and buy needles because apparently I have no idea where my needles are. So I'm gonna finish this one, go to the store, grab needles, grab a contrasting string, and then we'll patch them up and put them to wash. See you soon. One shopping spree later. I have everything that I need and more. I only need one needle, so this is a total overkill, but they were just so cheap. Yeah, and I'm gonna use this one over here, the green one. I'm not sure it looks green on camera, but it's a green. Since those pillows are green, I'm going to use this color. Now I'm using a contrasting or different color than white for closing the pillows because in case I want to fill them up again, I don't want to open another stitch. I just want to close this up quickly. It doesn't have to be too beautiful. I'm not going to make it, so that it's impossible to see where the seam is. That's not my intention in this case. When I'm closing the pillows, I want to close them in a manner that it's actually easy for me to find the stitch, and that way when I need to refill them, I can just, open up the same stitch and continue working. I don't know if it's visible because this is like a very, very, very thin thread, but I measured it quite long. I think it should be enough for both of the pillows. And I doubled it, so I just, tied in both of ends here because I want to make this visible and sturdy, and I want to see it easily and not have to bury myself again in stitches to find the stitch that I already did. So let me grab pillows. Okay, so here is my hole. Now what I also did off camera was I weighted both of the pillows and made sure that the weights are same. So if you can tell, I still have these leftovers here from the old thread. I'm not sure. Let's see, maybe you can see it. I'm just gonna tie them in a knot so that they don't go out, and I'm going to cut off the excess because I don't need that much. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. It's the reason why I said don't try to cut. I'm not sure if I said it, but I wanted to say do not cut the ends too much. Okay. Now this is most likely not going to go anywhere, so there won't be any more damage on this side. Cut! Yay! Now I'm gonna take my thread and I'm going to try and put it in the same manner as it was before. It's going to look slightly different, but I don't want any extra ridges. That's what's important, no extra ridges. And now what I'm gonna do is just straight stitch all the way. So if I find any excess, I'm just going to put it inside like so. Okay, just make sure that you're holding it quite tight, and that when you're going from this side to the other side, that you're going through all of the pieces of the seam. So in case you've missed one, just okay. So let's speed this up a bit. And yeah, guys, I know it's a seam, not a stitch, but I keep mixing them up in this video because it was too late and I was speaking 3 languages that day. Multilingual people sometimes have issues. Okay, so now I came to this part where it's actually, I have like a little fold in my fabric, and I'm going to abide by this fold, and I'm actually going to make the next stitch a bit smaller. I have tried to keep it as consistent as possible. It's a bit difficult to work in the position that I'm currently working, but I'm going to, you see this is a little flap, so I'm going to go through here and then through, see, through this flap, through its, let's call it an ear, and then through this lower fabric, then through my edge, and then through to the other side and the other layer of fabric as well. Because that way, now this stitch is going to hold my flap here, and this isn't going to give me any issues during the sleeping. So it's not going to accidentally undo itself. Bits and pieces aren't going to fall out. Okay, and now after I sewed in this flap, you can see that it's actually completely straight, and it's going to be super easy to finish all up. And 2 and 3, and the last one, just in case, like so. And now I'm going to make a simple knot. And the last thing is to cut off this, the rest of the thread. As you can tell, I've made sure that to keep it as consistent as possible. Okay, it's, you know, it's handmade, it's not going to be perfect, but that's fine. But what I have now is a stitch that I can tell is the one that is worked on manually, and I know that now in order to undo this stitch and to, when I go to refill, all I have to do is take this edge with this knot. Okay, let me show you. So I take this, I pull it slightly, and I cut off here next to the knot so that I no longer have the knot. Then, if this was cut, I would take a needle, or you can take thin scissors or undoing tool, and you can just take this one and start pulling slowly, and it will slowly undo itself like in a minute. You are going to be done super fast. Hi guys, welcome to my bedroom. I wanted to do a quick recap of the pillows and how they've been doing now that we have washed them and dried them, and they're amazing. I'm so happy with how all of the pillows turned out. Maybe I could have gotten one more small bag of the filling and then fill them a bit more, but we'll see. I may refill them after a couple of months or a year. So far we're very happy with them. Even my husband, who is pretty grumpy about pillows and super peculiar about how the pillows should look, and yeah, that's why we have this format of pillows, because he decided he needed new pillows, so we bought one. We have this format. This is actually a sponge pillow that he's currently using, and we have these big pillows that we bought when we moved to Germany. And yeah, now that they're refilled, they're so much better. I have no more issues with sleeping. I had some issues when I was sleeping with two of these small ones. My neck would hurt because they would slide off each other, and I'm a side sleeper. That's why I have this big side sleeping pillow here. So now that I have the big one and the small one, I can finally get a proper night's rest. And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll hope to see you soon. Take care, bye bye!